I'm from Brooklyn too.
Oh, word, that's right. All
Hello,
right, peace, peace. Welcome to Spears and Mics. This is episode 31, and we got something pretty important to discuss for hip hop and really bigger than hip hop, to tell you the truth. Um, this is about, Jay-Z being named in the Diddy lawsuit, the civil lawsuit, mentioned as someone who also participated in a alleged rape of a 13-year-old. So it's pretty serious and it's definitely super ugly, just like Hove's record. Um,
Hmm.
what y'all think? It's a lot. There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to
Shit crazy.
discuss. It's real crazy.
we'll first lay out the whole situation for those that don't know. It's well, it's an accuser, right? 13-year-old female. She's got
Right, then 13. Then 13.
yeah. Then
What year was this? It was
oh,
um
2000,
they said the year we do.
yeah, like 2000.
Yeah, I believe it was 2000.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
we're talking
2000
20,
VMA after party.
24 years ago.
yeah, and I just saw a picture of him actually at the party, the outfit he wore at the party.
Hmm.
At the
and she's also accused Puffy. You know what I'm saying? Diddy of She's also an accuser of your boy Diddy.
Right, she's accusing Diddy, Sean P. Diddy Combs, and Sean Jay-Z Carter of alleged rape, and she was 13 years old. So apparently what she's saying is that she was looking to get into the party, and she was wandering around trying to get her way in there, and she was going up to all the limos trying to see who could get her in. She, from her claim, she's stating that she went up to a limo and said, "I'm trying to get up in the party," and it was like the limo driver looked at her and said, "Oh yeah, you Diddy's type," for whatever that means, and this is what's alleged, right? That he brought her into the party, and at some point during this party, she says that, according to the details that were put out, was that Jay-Z had removed her underwear and raped her when she was 13, and then after Jay-Z was done, that Diddy, raped her right after that. So, it's definitely some super ugly allegations. And I see like a lot of different reactions in hip hop over it. There's people that are celebrating it, saying that they've been waiting for Hove to go down. There's people saying, of course, people saying that there's no way he's done this, So there's like people just all over the place, and it's typical behavior from our people. They always either trying to make sure somebody goes under the jail, or they're trying to say there's no way this could happen. He's our hero. No way could he cause this harm. And I think people are bugged out in our culture, man. In hip hop and just our people in general are bugged out, man. Because I ain't rooting for nobody to fall, and I ain't definitely anything is possible. We can't underestimate nobody, and especially with us in Zulu, based on our experiences with Africa Bambaataa. You know what I mean? That was a hip hop hero, so to say. And, we know where it's at with him. So like who's to say that Jay-Z um did this or didn't do it? Anything is possible. He's a human being. And we're all faulted and we all have things that we none of us are perfect. And I hope for the situation that it's not true, but that's just my hopes and wishes, you know what I mean? What do y'all feel?
You know, from what I get of the story is that pretty much it stems from Diddy's case, one of the lawsuits. And
Hmm.
originally Jay-Z wasn't named or was
Hmm.
redacted from the suit, from the
Hmm.
filing. Basically, what ended up happening is between the accuser's attorney, or should I say the survivor's attorney, and Jay-Z's attorneys, that's when I guess some mudslinging began, or maybe some kind of intimidation tactics were performed, and that's
Hmm.
what caused them to say Jay-Z's name. So that's when
Correct.
Jay-Z decided to put out the thing through his Rock Nation publicist,
Right.
stating that he's planning on fighting. So right now, the fact that he's fighting, I guess, is supposed to show that he's innocent or he's just trying to get ahead of the claims. But
Hmm.
there's a lot going on. And when his name has been attached from other people, we're not going to say their names to give them any publicity, but their name's been spread around for certain people. Certain artists that was under him is accused, but
No.
they always give inaccurate dates, which is one of my
Hmm.
issues is why I tend not to believe them because the date, the timelines, and the ages don't add up sometimes.
Hmm.
They're even bringing in Aaliyah and all stuff like that, and it's like, where's all this stuff coming from now?
Yeah,
No,
we're
that
gonna
that's been
definitely
out there
um
though. That's
Yeah,
we're
been
gonna
out there,
unpack
but
that. We'll
yeah,
we'll unpack that in a moment once we get out some of the details on this.
yeah.
We're gonna go a little bit into the history that we know or that we've kind of what it seems to be from what we've seen throughout the years. And what we're talking about mainly is Aaliyah, Foxy Brown, and Beyonce all being underage at some point. But we'll unpack that in a moment. What I wanted to add on, Razor, to what you were saying is, yeah, apparently the accuser of the one that's filing the civil lawsuit, her attorney had told Jay-Z, yeah, we're gonna name you in this civil lawsuit. Do you want to settle before we name you? So he was basically, him and his attorneys said, no, you're not gonna strong arm us for money. Basically it's a shakedown, right? And then they can go and say, hey, we settled with Jay-Z for X amount of dollars. It'll trickle out, even though they sign NDAs and all of that, it still
Hmm.
trickles out, and then it'll automatically look like he's at fault. So,
Right.
salute the Hove. I think I thought his reaction from his public relations team was pretty swift and fast. That's something you have to address.
Yeah.
Something that we learned in the Bambaataa situation, right? It was really never really publicly addressed. It was kind of like silenced and like he danced around that for a long time. So Hove got out in front of it. It's important to do that. And he also challenged them to, he said, don't make it a civil lawsuit, make it a criminal lawsuit. So he seems pretty firm and confident that he's going to be able to beat this. So that's a good thing to see usually when somebody challenges a legal team to do something,
Hmm.
usually I would say that they were probably innocent. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hoping that is the case because I hate to see any more allegations on hip hop artists. The culture's already taking so much bad press and whatnot. We don't need that. But these people also have to be held accountable for their actions. No one is above the law. No one is infallible. So, if he did it, then justice needs to be served. If he didn't, I hope that, he finds a way to beat this and continue on his career. But people better really watch their moves, man, because like I don't think anybody's safe no more. They coming for everybody now.
He also filed a motion for the accuser to be revealed, the right to face your accuser.
Correct.
So
Mm.
that's the latest development with that.
Right. So basically what they're saying is if they don't reveal the name, if you don't reveal the name of the accuser, then this has to be thrown out. So it's putting some pressure now on them to, you know, put that name, the face and the name out, which I think is I guess a way for them to fight it, you know what I mean? It's kind of crazy, man. It's a lot.
I mean, filing motion is just like your lawyer. It's like a petition. We want this, and then the judge grants it or not. But
Hmm.
I mean, I mean, besides me with the law, I don't think they like if they want to get you, they'll get you. They don't really gotta like that's not a super strong defense anymore of you have the right to face your accuser. It might work for Jay, but they'll get around that if they want. They'll be like the safety of the witness if something happens or the accuser if something
Hmm.
happens like that. When I had to go to the grand jury, they had a million reasons why I couldn't see this dude. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even know. I mean, I didn't even like I knew who it was, but he wouldn't be able to say that I did what he said I was doing. So
Hmm.
like they got around that. You know what I mean? I still was convicted. So my point is, if they wanted to, they can get around that motion. They might not grant it, and that'll be that. But that is the latest development. Before we, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I want to get into the unpacking of the breakdown, or you still want to talk about the detail?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's important. It's something that I think this is what like some of these things that we've seen Jay-Z be involved with throughout his career, right? Like the alleged fighting between him and Dame over Aaliyah, right? Now, I guess him and Dame was fighting over Aaliyah after R. Kelly, right? Because R. Kelly was with her when she was about 15,
15,
16,
15.
right? So now then they say like I don't know how old Aaliyah was when Jay and Dame was allegedly fighting over her, but she was probably just a couple years removed from the R. Kelly situation. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? It's
And
probably 97-ish,
yeah,
right,
and
right?
if you're talking about 97, she was 18.
right.
Right.
Could have been no
Right.
more
She
than
was like a young lady at that
Right,
point.
that. Right.
So
And
that
then
kind of like takes
the
it's weird though still like she's still like a young kid
right.
or whatever, but I guess because she was so beautiful and so prestigious and so musically she was so hot at that point. I guess everybody was trying to get at her,
right,
um, which is kind of crazy. Um, so then there's been also people always said about Foxy Brown, right? Now, I didn't realize Foxy Brown was as young as, like her and Kim apparently were very young when they got in the game. I was like under the impression the way they marketed these young ladies, so to
they were
say, if you could
older.
even call them young ladies, but right, they were marketed as, like sex figures and, older, like I thought they was like
Pardon.
25 years old when they came out. You look at that little Kim photo where she got the underwears and the one that Nicki Minaj reinvented,
Yeah,
like when she, basically she got a snatch out, like that's crazy, like a crazy photo, you know what I mean? So I was thinking that these young ladies was way older than me, but apparently they was like my age,
right.
now. So
Like I
now I'm
know,
44 years old. They're not much older than us. They're like younger or right where we're at,
yeah, 'cause I
in
think
that age range.
Kim, I think she was 21 when Hardcore dropped. Foxy was still like 17 or 18 at the time,
Right. Kim's when kids hardcore album, but when she was running with Junior Mafia,
or before
like
the, right,
right, she was, I mean, granted, she wasn't like half naked during that era, but she was around them, and it's been alleged that all of them were, B.I.G. was with Kim, obviously,
right,
you know what I mean? So, but sticking to Hove, right, like Foxy Brown was what, 16, 17 years old, and they say like that was his piece,
right.
you know what I mean? Is that correct? Like I don't know.
You had
What
Allegedly.
details y'all have?
you had so many
Right,
people
allegedly.
speculating on it, talking about it.
Right.
You had Nas talk about it.
Right. The time.
Right. But then I heard the same thing about Nas. I heard Nas was with her too. Like, I don't know if that's accurate. You know what
I
I'm
never
saying?
heard
But,
that
I
until
never
you
heard the
mentioned
Nas
it.
one.
I never heard the
well,
Nas. No,
But if
never
mm,
heard that.
the
But
time
but
that
I
Jay, all right, real quick, the time that Jay allegedly had Foxy was like in the beginning. It was like
in the
kind of
beginning
some
of what?
Oh, 'cause
before.
Ain't No Nigga was 2 years before it came out.
Right. But the time around, it was like early, like early. She
But
was on,
she was around Smooth the Hustler. She was in the camp with Smooth the Hustler and them though, because Smooth the Hustler wrote "Ain't No Nigga."
but
So
she
she
mhm.
was
was
16 when she did like the
Mm,
firmest with like when they first met her, she was like
but
6.
yeah, and she was allegedly 15 when she did the I Shot You remix.
Yeah,
Because that
exactly.
was
that's
Right.
facts.
first. That
So
was
That's
that's
Right.
facts.
That was
first.
her debut. That's what got her
yeah,
Right. It
signed.
wasn't Ain't No Nigga. It was
Yeah, 'cause it
I
was
Shot You.
95.
good.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Mrs.
Right.
Smith came out 95.
So
Right.
she,
So she was under Smooth the Hustler and them.
but when she
And,
got pop,
and
like she was definitely like on the borderline. And in New York,
yeah.
it's apparently legal, which is weird, 17 in the state of New York. But
Yeah, but look,
still weird
I'm
'cause
gonna say this.
30 off the jump.
I'm gonna say this. I don't agree with none of it. I think it's crazy if it's true, but what I will say is this ain't nothing different than what the drug dealers used to do in the community,
Pick up the
or
girls from high
like,
school.
yo, exactly. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna say his name, but a rapper that we all respect and hold high regard
Mhm.
was dating somebody in my school when I was in Jamaica High School, and I didn't believe her. till she pulled the album out, showed me a picture with the rapper on the bed, and we're like 16, 17. And this is in the
Mm-hmm.
90s. This is like
Mm-hmm.
9, 7, 9, 6,
Right.
9, 7. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So, and I've seen dude, we all seen dude, we come out of high school, and we might like the girl, and we come out the gate, come out to school, and the dude is waiting with a what was hot back then, the Acura Legend or a Maxima or a little
Or a Range
Beamer
Rover.
or a
Right.
Range Rover or whatever. We see
Yeah.
it in we seen it in real life, let alone movies.
Yeah.
But this has been going on forever in our community.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Very much so.
and nobody, like, yo, when I was in the military, I'm 18, and even though it's legal because you're 18, but the old dudes that outranked us used to be throwing their money at the chicks, like taking taking the chicks we supposed, like, fraternizing because they
Right.
outrank us, you know what I'm saying? And they taking them, like, they married, and they taking them shopping, they furnishing apartments,
Hmm.
all of that. So, like,
Yeah.
I think this is
Young
just
joints.
right. I think this is just because it's Jay-Z. So is and people, like you said, people are waiting, like, Jay-Z's next, Jay-Z's next, Jay-Z's next. You
Mm-hmm.
waiting for Jay-Z's next, but you ain't talking about your next door neighbor or the person you
Mm-hmm.
knew that was smashing all the young girls in your neighborhood right in front of
Right.
your face, and you turned a blind eye to it. You know what I'm
Right. Right.
saying?
Right. Right.
But you getting in on it because
Because
it's
you was
some
getting money
celebrity
with him.
gossip,
You was
right?
getting money with
Probably,
him.
or you might have been under him,
Mm-hmm.
or you aspired to
Mm.
be him. You might not even
Right.
been getting money with him. You aspired to be
Right.
him. I'm gonna be like him I'm gonna be like
Mm-hmm.
the big homie taking down the little 13-year-old. I remember, yo, no lie, man. I remember in my neighborhood there was this girl. She was young. Um, and she had an older sister, and her sister was loose. And as soon they didn't even give her a chance, the older sister, right? So something happened. The mom sent them to Texas. The younger sister came back, more developed. She had to be like 15, 16. Dudes didn't even give her a chance. She got like two kids right now. She's of age now. She's in her 20s now. But
Hmm.
back then, I'm looking at dudes like, yo, like, nah, man, like, get off my block with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And whoever listened to
Yeah.
this from my block, y'all know who I'm talking about. And everybody that tried to do something to that young lady, you foul. You know what I'm saying? And
Super.
you wasn't gonna do it around me.
Well,
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
ugly. I wanna add on to what y'all was saying about the rap dudes that, it's this is not just a Jay-Z thing. This is
No.
all over the place, right?
Hmm.
Mobb Deep is very well known in Long Island. When they lived out, some of y'all that familiar with Infamous Life, where they talk about their house in Long Island, they were
Hmm.
living in Freeport. They bought a house in Freeport, and from what I was told by some of the Zulus in Freeport, some of the 5%ers in Freeport, a lot of people have spoken out about this. They used to see Havoc and Mobb Deep pulled up almost every day outside there, outside of Freeport High School, flirting with the girls. Now, I don't know if they was taking them home, but like you pulling up on high school to go look at the girls, that's super whack. Especially the fact that they was probably about 30 years old at that point. And what are you flirting with in high school? If you're looking at the girls, you looking at a maybe 18-year-old, maybe 17. That's like, I mean, anything younger than that is crazy. It's number one, it's illegal. Number two, it looks crazy that you in your 30s and you messing with 15, 16, 17-year-old girls that could technically be your daughter. You
Yo,
know what
you
I'm
know what's
Yeah.
saying?
crazy? Where I live
Uh,
at right now, since I live outside of New York, that's the norm out here where I'm at. It's the
Or
norm. Like younger females like older men. You know what I'm saying? And what's crazy
it
is,
was like that
yeah, they like the
movie.
money. They
yeah,
like the
but like,
money. That's what they like.
what's crazy about it is, like, that's your thing. Not you guys, but that could be your thing. You like young joints, whatever, right? But you're not even teaching them anything. You're not even teaching them how to take care of themselves. This ain't the coldest winter ever by Sister Soldier. You know what I'm saying? Where the young girl was hustling and she was with the older dude. This is not that, man. Like, yeah, I don't know, man.
He
It's
was hustling backwards.
Yo, nah, it's crazy. Like, go get a woman your age.
They,
Well, they can.
Why?
What do
Why?
they
Because you
have to
can't
Can't
offer?
manipulate. Because you can't
can't
manipulate them,
manipulate.
and you can't
Right.
mold them to what you want them to
Them to
be.
be.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
well,
if
just
Can't
if
kind of
you
beat them
do
in the
if
head.
you if you're a man, A woman's gonna follow you if you're a man. You know what I'm
A
saying? A
real
woman's gonna
man.
fall in line. Right. A woman is gonna follow you and fall in line if you're a man. But dudes got ulterior motives. And I don't want to get away from the subject, but this is just like
No, it needs to be
it's
spoken
it's
on though.
it's it's
It needs to be addressed.
it's crazy, man.
And it's relevant to the subject too.
It's
It's
wild,
relevant to the
man. Like
subject.
you want to have control, like having like get the respect first.
Hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Look,
Dudes are
Yeah.
suckers, man. It's some sucker stuff, man.
I think that all raises several issues right there, right? One, I don't think the Jay-Z that was kind of doing that allegedly with Foxy Brown is more of what y'all just spoke about, like the hood and people doing that, the drug dealers, the rap. Even if it goes to like having, I think the Jay-Z allegedly now that they're accusing is Wild Boule Society, which is kind of the overall kind of argument because they all are
Right.
into, they're all into the young child, right? And
Yeah, the
I'm
Hmm.
kids, yeah. Yeah.
like, and that's that. The kids is one, and then also because even people that don't like different schools of thought. Let's say that, right? Not even religions, right? But there are people that believe getting the woman. You know what I mean? That's why they like her. You're supposed to mold them, and there are people that believe all of that, right? You know what I'm saying? They have that age. They're supposed to be younger than you. People, there's people that.
Well,
But hold on, let me finish. Let me
Yeah,
finish.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right, and then so if you get the quote unquote right, the perversion or Illuminati, right? I for one, if that was the thing, like say I believed from that and just went through there, right? I don't think black people can be. I do think this the like the highest I think black people can do, which would be the maybe the alleged Boule Society, right? And if that's true, right, it would be these type of people, right? It's I almost still do not believe this all this crazy shit about Diddy or because it's insane or
so
blackmailing honeypot all that wild shit
So
and oh right. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. Not believing it could be possible, right? It's the same way with Russell Simmons, right? They say Russell Simmons just was up and out of there, right? They've been
And they
saying
went to
him
Bowie.
and doing all that weird because if that's to be believed, right? Because I don't want to influence none, right? Let's just but it that should be real, yo. You know what I'm saying? And if
Yeah,
they
because
yeah.
if
speaking
they
of
do,
Russell Simmons,
huh?
my fault. Speaking of Russell Simmons, because he said he met Kamora Lee when she was 17.
Exactly, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and then, right? Women believe they gotta be fucking skinny and all that. They don't even
mhm.
believe that that's beauty for the health of it, because it's true indeed. Being skinny is fucking healthy, right? They
Well,
believe that's that because keep it real. You look like a fucking little kid, right? They look like a fucking skinny ass little fucking
Right,
girl.
right. Somebody who's
Time
going through puberty or something
Right,
like
right,
that.
right, right. Now the hood people, right? Now generate I'm only 42, right? Generations, right? In my black community, that's where you might have gotten people messing around with the babysitter or the kids and shit like that. Cause like now in my years, right? That's like a whole fucking quote unquote like fetish and shit like that that just keeps perpetuating it, right? But I don't know if that's because the Illuminati shit, sacrificing babies like fucking Parsons and all that wild shit, is real or
Mm.
not. Right? I don't know. And that's
So
why I don't really get mad. Like, if that shit is to be believed, I want Jay gone. You know what I'm saying? I want Diddy gone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so are you saying Jay is Illuminati or Boule?
I'm saying it's quite
I think he
possible.
definitely
Jay,
Boule.
Beyonce, and all of them, Diddy, you know what I mean? They all have those fake stories when they get to a certain level. This happens and that happens. I think that's the boule. It's the same way with the Masons. Like they say black Masons can't never be like the real. You know what I mean? They can
the
never.
33rd, the
Right.
33rd.
Even if
Yeah.
they have the 33rd degree, the lowest ranking white Mason anywhere in the world is the highest in a black fucking like temple. The
So
the
I
so
don't. I
that
don't think
means
that's. I don't think
That
that's accurate because the Prince Hall Masons, there's Master Masons there.
But the
You
Prince
know what
Hall
I
is
mean?
the Prince Hall is the biggest African American shit. Huntington is me. You know what I'm saying? Huntington, the church AME, all the black men are, and they like that. And that's before I got into rap. They're like the best of, because the Methodist, African Methodist was taken. They were like the slaves around the white people. Then they went in the back, and then they made their own little shit. And then they got like, it's like little crumbs of the fucking whatever Mason shit it was. Just like the churches, the little crumbs of whatever that white shit that you know what I mean? All those black slaves was doing back then. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense. And that's the highest black shit. Them niggas, and when I grew up, them niggas wasn't wearing hats with the fucking like they wasn't doing that, yo. You know what I'm saying? So if that's true, right? It's quite possible. It's the same way they think Al Sharpton and all of that is Boule. I don't I don't think they can be. I still haven't really seen them be proven that they're really Illuminati. I think the highest a black person can be is that
Well, let's
so they
allegedly.
say
don't
this,
eat.
P.
So you're saying they don't eat kids then?
That
Because
they
the
do.
no, I'm talking about the blacks don't eat kids. Only the white elites eat kids,
No, they
eat
might.
babies. Because
Yo,
I just saw a video
Flesh more
where the
tender.
woman. Did you see that video where the politician? I forgot the woman's name. She was up there talking about babies. She's like, we eat babies, and
yo,
like, yo, she glitched out and said we eat babies, and then just kept talking
Mm.
like normal. I'll send
it's
y'all
not.
the video later.
It's
It's
not.
Well,
Not.
crazy.
P, this is what I wanted to say though, right? So we can suspect Hove of being a part of the Boule. Anything is possible, right? We don't know what he's into, but what we do know about Hove for a fact is that he was a part of the Ansars, the Nuwabians,
See?
right?
That's a
Now
fact. Yeah.
you look at his connection with that, and then we look at Dr. York, we know what
Mhm.
Dr. York is into, right?
Right.
These
Or
things
was
are
into
passed,
because he.
right, was into,
And,
right, and I'm not trying to tie Jay-Z to that, but
Right,
if you
right.
look at, he was a part of that movement, and look at what the founder of that
But
organization
what is he? Is he five
dealt
percent?
with.
I know he was Ansar, and then all of a sudden he was wearing the 5%
I think
medallion.
he was
Right. I think a lot of brothers, I think it's like all tied in where
Them dudes
they
just
they they
searching. They just
practice they
searching.
they practice something, right? And whether it be Moorish science, whether it be NOI, whether it be 5% Nation of Gods and Earth, it's all interweaved because it all really comes from Moorish science. All of that, it just
Yeah.
keeps on
Right.
evolving.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's like when a brother be a part of one thing, he feels like he's bringing it all together. You know what I mean? And that's what I see. And I've never been a part of the 5% Nation of Gods and Earths. To me, that was something like very influential to the Zulus, right? Like a lot of Zulus read the 5% lessons. A
right.
lot of Zulus were a part of the 5% Nation of Gods and Earths. Then there was a lot of Zulus that were a part of the Nation of Islam. There were a lot of Zulus that were part of the Fruit of Islam, so on and so forth, how they influenced Shaka Zulu as well. It's all relevant, it's all tied into. But to me, I never wanted to be anything but a Zulu. To me, it's like, how much things could you be a part of? With these other brothers, they just taken from different groups, and you know what I mean? Like I think
That's why they crazy. That's why they
Doggy
crazy.
Diamond said it the other day. What he said, yo, like Hove was quoting the 5% lessons more than
J
what's the brother
Electronica. J
more than Jay
Electronica. Yeah.
Electronica. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Yeah.
we don't
Mm.
Hove ain't even 5%. Like, so it's weird. You know what I mean?
But if he was with the Ansar route and shit got down like that, right? And then you're running around with Foxy Brown and shit got down like that. And this is before he became quote unquote allegedly Illuminati, Boule, Hove, Rock Nation. So if he could fake do it then, why is it not possible that he could do it now? The same way Diddy, they didn't trace him back all the way back to when he was promoting parties, when he was running around with fucking Andre Harrell. You know what I'm saying? If you can get away, then you know what I'm saying. It's not. It's quite possible, yo. I don't want to see anybody go down. Son got kids, and also it's just gonna look like
Malachi York had kids too. You
Right, right,
got
Can I
kids
make
too.
can I make a
exactly.
claim?
But
Got
Same
Yeah,
one.
of
also,
course.
also
same
you're,
night,
it's going to
same
be a stain
fight.
on the culture, our body. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a stain, but if it's to be believed, because I mean they've been talking about that shit for a long time, yo. I like it's crazy, and I do think he's gonna beat it because he's already well prepared, and people are already jumping up and down to defend him off the rip, yo. So I think it's just
Well,
gonna.
not everybody's doing that. There's people that's calling for his
Dudes,
body.
people
You know what I'm
defended
saying?
Diddy too.
Yeah,
People are already
yeah,
ready for his head. They feel like, yo, they run in the
It's
same
yeah.
circles.
I
it's
think people
He's
just
the
want to
next one.
see him fall
Not
because he's been
right,
winning for
not
so long.
right. I think that's you hit it in the head, Aki. I think that's
Uh,
it. You know, all
also
people hate to
wrong.
see somebody rise
yo,
up to the top. You know,
yo,
it's like
like
a WWE ladder match. They know Hove on top. He got the belt. The whole gang is coming to knock him off that
you
ladder.
know
Make
what's
sure he don't have
crazy?
that
You
belt.
know what's crazy, right? And a little bit off topic. I like the Chiefs, right? I've been a Chiefs fan, and I don't even
That's a
like to say
fact.
fan because it's short for fanatic, and I don't get crazy over them. I like
You
them.
root for the
I,
Chiefs.
I I I root for
Yeah.
them since they got Joe Montana because Joe Montana was my favorite quarterback, right? So he got traded there. I think in like '95, yeah, like '94, right? So I've been rocking with them. Lose, win, lose, whatever. So in the past couple of years, they've been on top. They won two straight Super Bowls. They're looking to be the first team to three-peat, right? Everybody hates them. Like I see people at my job, people just on the internet. Yo, the refs. There's all the excuses. I hate them. They did the same thing with Tom Brady and the Patriots. Why can't people just win? Why why
Hmm.
why they gotta lose? Why do you want them? Why can't you win too? You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like why they gotta lose
True.
for you to be satisfied? You know what I'm
People have
saying? Like
hate
why?
in their blood. People have hate and
Go
jealousy,
go do like
and they
yo.
never want to see people winning.
I'm not a Jay-Z like I bought all his albums physical copies up until the Black album.
I would
Heard
feel
every album, you know what I'm saying? But I bought like the Black album and I
Hmm.
just did it because like being a hip hop head, I wasn't walking around quoting Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
thought he was dope, he cool. To me, he's in my top 10 and he ain't in the top five for me. That's me personally. You know what I'm saying? Because
Hmm.
music is subjective, but I don't be like, yo, like I want him to go to jail. Like if he did it, then he needs to pay
Right.
a penalty for it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not looking for his downfall. When Diddy got caught up, I didn't say Jay Z was next. I wasn't even thinking about Jay Z.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
it,
Because I'm not that invested in it. You know what I'm
but
saying?
Hmm.
I think they're doing. I don't think people are. It's because he's Jay Z. It's because he was really around back then, and it's the same. It's almost like
Yeah, but a lot of people were around then,
A
though,
lot of
P.
people, right? A lot of people.
oh, what is that? People,
But he
they're
got the
all,
most money. He got the most money.
and
I mean,
also
out of a lot of
it's
our people, rather.
but it's cause but Jay it's like he happens to be Jay big, but it's really because he was around doing you're right there. It's like it's almost like if we stared at everybody from Bambaataa and really gave them the same type of you know what I'm saying that it's kind of I don't think it's just because he's like rich and he's got to go because everybody let this nigga hold, but when the puffy shit hit, it's like you looked at one, Jay was dumb quiet for like a year or some shit. Not he was like just regular, not regular quiet.
Everybody was. But
Yeah,
but like
And
yo,
let's
but
not
when
forget
he
he gentrified
oh,
downtown Brooklyn.
it's the people
you
that
know
Mm.
what's crazy about him, and this is what's crazy. You can't get an interview with him, and when you
right,
do get an interview with him, it's controlled.
Fox shit,
You
yeah.
can't ask
right,
him. You can't ask him. And then people like when you hear him talk. Like people be like, oh, you heard what Jay? It went over your head. No, he's not speaking. He's
right.
not speaking eloquently. He really don't like. I don't
But
like. He's smart, business wise, and all of that. I give him that. But like, he's not saying anything profound to
yeah,
where
but
it's
it's
He's
going
really
over
not.
my head. He's
he's
not
not a
like
Right.
So I don't. Like people be like,
celebrity.
be putting it. Like, his bars went over. Reasonable doubt went over my head. Like,
Right.
did you listen?
Yeah, like
Like,
Right.
straight out.
It
it's
was nothing
nothing like.
stellar.
Did you read a book? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To know what he was talking about. Like, yo, come on,
Right.
man.
Only
Like,
idiots are impressed and
like
think that, you
I
know
just
what I
don't like
mean?
control. I don't like controlled
Look at cheese like
interviews.
an omelet.
I don't like control.
Yeah.
I remember Charlemagne asked him a question and he got Charlemagne fired. You know what I'm saying? That's like his
Jay,
famous thing. Like,
petty,
it, like,
but they
why are you
love
coming
it.
up there? You're supposed to ask him the tough questions. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You're a public figure. People want to know certain things, address a rumor or anything. You can't out of an
Right.
interview. You can't
And
your
and
way
I
out of
don't
stuff.
like when I don't like when any rapper thinks they're bigger than hip hop culture. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not to say that Drink Champs is like the end all be all or the only platform for hip hop, but it's a successful hip hop platform. And like Jay-Z won't go on it. Like, why? Like, why hasn't he been on it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like everybody should have been on it. You know what I mean? I don't think nobody, like, Nori talks about this often. Like, yo, a lot of people be like ducking him for the interview, but they'll go to a non-hip hop platform and give everything to them.
He was on
And
Rap
that's whack.
Radar, right?
He don't
Wasn't
want
he
to be
on
that
Rap
Right,
person.
Radar?
right,
And
right. He
and and
was
Elliot
Elliot
Wilson
Wilson, right?
was like, brown nosing the whole
Yeah,
time and
you have,
Right.
laughing
but you
and
have,
giggling.
certain
Mm-hmm.
artists have like their
Fanboyed out.
certain artists have their
He worked
favorite
for him.
media person. Yeah, like Dream Hampton was the same way for Biggie and Puff.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I guess I forgot who the guy's name was, but I think he also was one for um Chio Hadar. I forgot his last name, but he was another one that was who would do stuff with Biggie and stuff like that. So everybody had exclusive publicists or journalists they used to
Mm-hmm.
deal with. Like even with this whole Drake and academics thing, that was like the go-to guy for him. I wouldn't call
Mm-hmm.
academic media though, but
Right, right, right.
But I think Jay's just done with hip hop. Period. Like he can't. He's not rapping. He has. I mean, now he might have something to kind of rap about. But
He can't be done with hip hop. That's what made him who he is.
no, he can be done.
That's
He
what
can.
made him.
Yeah, but I mean, he can. He been done.
he
You
got
know what
something
I'm
coming.
Well,
saying?
I mean, he outshined Jay Electronica on that album.
And
Um,
What's the
that was
last
that was
joint he
really
had? What's the last joint he had?
that.
The Khaled album, right? He
yeah,
was on
kind
the
of.
He
Khaled album with Nas,
on the
right?
Khaled album. He
Oh,
had
God did.
The Beyonce album. Him and Beyonce, the
I didn't
Carters.
even hear that. I didn't even
Was
hear it.
Trash.
But I just
trash.
really
I ain't
for him.
one of the. I ain't like how they dropped the same day as Nas.
Word.
Yeah, I
That was
didn't
bad
like that
delivery.
either.
I think that was
I
corny.
believe so.
And it kind of,
Super.
you know what I'm saying? So I don't think he can really. I mean, he might. He can always put words
He can
together.
rap. Yeah, he nice, so he can always put something out.
He don't really have to.
You
He's
know,
like 55 now, yo. You know what I'm saying?
So
you
how
know,
old is G
he's
Rap? How old is G Rap? G Rap still
right.
rapping?
Same
Yeah,
age.
but
Huh?
he rap.
A lot of people ain't hanging it up. They keep going. I want Jay-Z to continue. I want everyone to continue putting out music. If it's trash, it's trash. If it's great, great.
We shouldn't be the only genre of music where when you reach a certain age you gotta hang it up. That's whack.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
that is why.
I've been
Yeah,
saying that
It's the
forever.
fact.
he
That's
can if
It's
whack.
the
he
fact.
I've been
Yo,
saying
Jay.
that
man.
forever.
That
Yo, Mick Jagger look like if he get off drugs, he might die.
right.
Rolling Stones be selling out
And
tour, and I
selling
like the
out.
Rolling Stones. I like the Rolling Stones. I think they're dope.
But yet
I listen to other stuff than hip hop. You know what I'm
everybody else gotta
saying?
group up to sell a tour.
Yeah, like yo, like come on,
His music
man.
changed that and made that cool though. When he started, you know what I mean, rapping about being 40 and all that shit. You know what I mean? But I don't think. I mean, he might come with another album or maybe a verse to address all this.
I
I think he
guarantee
got
you,
another album coming.
Watch the Throne 2 will come out at some
How
point.
Kanye West?
But
Yes,
but
yes. I'm telling you,
back
it's gonna happen.
It'll be dirt because Kanye gone. Kanye gone. He's just
He's
alive.
independent though.
he said
Yeah,
he's
but
just alive. He's alive.
I've been stop hoping Kanye come back. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother story.
I'm disinterested in basically all of this. Like the music, like musically, I don't
You know,
care. I haven't listened to none of Kanye's recent albums, like
all
the
of them.
Christian album. I skimmed through some of these
That
things,
was
and
bad.
I
Life
don't
I
care
didn't
for it.
listen
It
to
doesn't.
Yeezus. I ain't listen.
Right,
Only
I
thing
didn't listen to that either.
I think
I skimmed through it, and I just
all of
didn't
them.
I
hear
think the
nothing. I just kept
last
skipping.
Mm.
the last Ye joint I heard
He
was the
was
joint with him and Ti when him when he was basically like they was playing like the Democrat versus Republican thing, like he was voting for Trump.
He's
And
not. Jay's
I
not
think it was
doing.
called "The People versus Yay" or something like that. It
Oh,
didn't
Mm-hmm.
I
make
didn't
the
even know
Mm-hmm.
about
album.
that one.
It was like a white label joint he came out with before was it before Yeezus? It was before one of them albums. I don't know. I don't keep up with dude neither. I think that's the last song I heard from
Mm.
Son. Like
Watching. But
Well,
just to reiterate, the people that want to see Jay fall, to me, in my opinion, believe all that Illuminati shit, and it may or
of
may
right. I
course,
think
I
that's
mean
where it
you see
stems
the
from. Yeah,
videos. Yeah, you see the videos. I
where
mean,
it
but they
stems
been
from.
his rap career or none of that. It's because he was around. You know what I mean? If Diddy's real, then the shit, the Jay gotta be real. That's how
Yeah,
they.
but the thing is, everybody that was popular in the '90s was around Diddy. Fat Joe was around Diddy. Nas was around Diddy. Jay-Z was around Diddy.
They
Mob
easily
Deep,
He's
separate themselves quick.
right. Everybody. He was around everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Heavy
Everybody.
D.
if it's to be believed, he kind of like, you know what I mean, cleaned himself up, and you know what I mean, got already. They say like he might have knew and already had like whatever prepared. I don't know, but I do think he's gonna beat this year because he's already
that's
seen
why
it beat it.
I'm glad I've always been the type of person that moves to the beat of his own drum. I would have never went to a Diddy party, even if I had the opportunity. I
Right.
don't like somebody that's always hyped and yo, you gotta come and you gotta do this. No, I don't, bro. I don't want to hang with you. I think I would
Right.
have probably told him like, yo, I think you're a cornball. You know
That's
what I'm
like Vic.
saying? Me
Shit like
personally, I
this.
think you're a cornball, and I don't want to hang out with you. I'm not coming to your party. I don't care who's there. I don't care how many women you got there. I don't care what you got going on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do drugs, and I don't like certain kind of, you know what I'm saying, atmospheres. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
What would what would y'all
huh?
do? What
What
would
would
y'all
I?
do if it came out that Biggie had something to do with the 20 years that Diddy allegedly been wreaking havoc, yo?
I wouldn't be shocked. It wouldn't even matter to me though. Like, you know what I'm
No,
saying? Because I don't look up since this whole Bambaataa situation. I learned my lesson. I don't look at none of these dudes as heroes. Like, and ain't nothing
Yeah,
shocking, right? Because we done
they
heard
just
the
did
most
something
craziest.
about
We've heard the most craziest stories you could even imagine with this whole Bambaataa shit. So you
right.
think I'm surprised by anything Diddy did? Like
And your man,
Bambaataa might have wrote the book for Diddy
and your man
on his activities.
KRS had 13 and good.
Yeah, there's a lot of
You know what I'm
questionable
saying?
behaviors in hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
but Biggie's
Listen,
not alive. So
we could speculate all we want. If it is true that Jay-Z did this, then hopefully justice is served. If it's not true, I hope he's able to fight it for the sake of
And
his
be
family and
right
his reputation. And
and be
it is you
exonerated.
got to think about it and be right. Because it is sad that his seeds have to deal with the shame that whether it took place or not. Now his family got to deal with that. So let this be a lesson to
I got
everybody, man. Hmm.
I got one question. Like I saw him
Hmm.
say that about his kids, like explaining and the friends and everything. I saw that because I saw that was in the statement. What does
Yep.
being from Brooklyn have to do with
Not a damn thing. Don't mean.
whether you like that's the thing that kind of threw me off. Like where I'm from, we
Yeah.
from Brooklyn. Brooklyn don't get down like that. Why not?
Right. Right.
Why
That's
not?
even
that's a lie. Right.
Why
That's a
not?
lie.
Like, I don't mean to
I
laugh, but
know.
I'm just saying,
I
like,
know what he's saying in general, right? What he's saying is
right.
in Brooklyn,
Just
there's
say
a
you.
code
Just
of
no, but
conduct.
just say
But yeah,
you.
you can't.
Just say
Right.
you.
You speak for yourself,
Don't speak
because
for Brooklyn. And don't even speak for your
the
project because you don't know what was going on inside of
right,
every
right,
apartment. Like, come on,
right,
yo.
right.
Like,
I think there's
like for real, P. You laughing, but
what is
for
there? I
real,
think
man,
there's
for real.
13 buildings in Marcy, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of buildings and a lot of pedophiles inside the buildings, a lot of rapos, a lot of
A
all
lot
of
of
that,
everything. If there was fiends,
and
if there
all
was
the whole
fiends,
New York
anything
City,
can
period.
happen. Wherever there's
Right,
fiends, because when you a fiend, your morals and principles
right,
go out the window because you don't have
right.
control of yourself the majority of the time.
Right, right,
Don't
right,
sit here and
right.
tell me I'm from Brooklyn, or even if you're from Queens, whatever. I'm from here, so we don't do that here. Like, come on,
Right,
yo.
right, right. Wherever there was
Don't say
drugs,
that.
because
Right,
right where we see the drugs, right, is where we see people that are not in the right state of mind,
right.
right? They're
Immorality.
constantly right. They're constantly under the influence, whether it be alcohol, whether it be narcotics. These are the people that are abusing, chasing down the sisters, disrespecting them in the community, trying to rape them in the alleyways by the dumpsters and all of that. Like those drunks, drug addicts, they're all the worst type of people. And the brothers that's being celebrated in hip hop are some of the ones that was pushing the poison in the community. You know, so,
Right,
so like Hove is trying to make himself look like this beautiful image, but you forgot like you was working with Calvin Klein and pushing dope in the hood. Like, let's be real. You know what I'm
right,
saying? You was with Calvin Klein, one of the biggest and most celebrated drug dealers in Brooklyn, period.
Right.
So,
right,
let's not forget who people are. You know what I'm saying?
right. And
That's
you
not
could
to say
change
that
your
he's
life. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Right,
That's not to say that he's a rapo. That's not to say he's a pedophile. But
right,
you are who you are. Hove is not some squeaky clean dude, right? Like he has a past. Many people that we're around in our communities have a past. But for the sake of his family and for whatever, I hope that he's able to fight it, and I hope it's not true. You know what I'm
right,
saying? And I
Jaguar.
think also one more thing, I think like when certain things happen, and respect to all survivors, because I understand that when something happens, you may internalize it, you may let it fester. I think people need to start when things happen, speak on it and take action. You know what I'm saying? Don't let these things just years pass, and then when you're trying to reveal it, now you like it's like a burden for you to prove that these things happen, and then ultimately you may not get the justice that you deserve. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
So
your
if
motives
something
come into
bad happens
question.
to you, push push forward, find the strength, speak to somebody and find the support, and go out there and make it public, go to, press charges, do whatever you got to do, speak on it. Don't
right.
internalize it. Don't hide it, because now it's going to become so hard for you to prove what took place. You know what I mean? So, respect to all survivors and all of that. And it's ugly, man, and we hope the truth comes out. You know what I mean? Clean up your act, hip hop. Everybody that's doing dirt, you better go get the broom and the mop and clean it up. Cause
Word.
man, this is gonna keep going on and on and on
And get the
until the
bleach
whole
too.
get the bleach right. Get the bleach, get the gloves, lawyer up, be ready. Cause if you did the dirt, man, they coming for you. Believe that. But it's crazy, man. Just peace to everybody, man. Peace to Jay-Z, peace to the Carter family, peace to Brooklyn. But where we're at with it, we stand with the survivors, period. That's where the Zulu Union is at. Salute. Thank you for tuning in to Spears and Mics. Peace.
Peace. That's my thing.